Got home from work today and my wife mentioned that the dishwasher was broken again. It's been kind of a problem child, but trash pick dishwashers tend to be. And she mentioned that the bottom sprayer had jumped up and was jammed, which confused me because this particular dishwasher doesn't have a rising sprayer. And I get in there and this is the screw, the knob that holds down the top of the circular sprayer, and it was laying in the bottom, and then those are the threads that used to hold it together. It's just a cheap plastic part. Looks to me probably like years of unbalance just wobbling back and forth. Work fatigued the plastic, and of course these threads are a great place for a crack to propagate on through. Once again, you fix it or you don't have a dishwasher. Not that hand washing dishes hasn't been done for many thousands of years, but I can fix it, so I will. Pretty simple concept. I've already checked, and even though this is hollow, there's no like stud or post through there. So I'm just gonna cut a wooden dowel. You can see I've already shaved it off to fit inside there. I'm gonna cut a wooden dowel because it's on the inside. It'll hold everything nice and straight up and down. Epoxy, hold the whole thing together, and we'll put her back to work. I've already taken the time to fold up a piece of sandpaper and just rough up the inside here. Just give it some tooth, they call it, for that epoxy to bite on. Oh dear, epoxy's a little frozen. Okay. And as always, I try to pull back on the tubes just to suck in a whisper of air so that they don't sit there and ooze. This won't take much epoxy, to be totally honest with you. This is way more than I need because all I'm doing is coating the outside of the stick. I also need to coat the end when I'm all done because I don't want that to soak up water, swell, and split this. So I'll end up encapsulating that in solid epoxy. I'm going to go ahead and mix this. We are well below recommended epoxy usage, so even though that's 5-minute epoxy, I probably have 15 minutes of open time. We'll let that sit for a bit. Get this piece of wood cut off. I've already marked my distance. Piece of sandpaper. So, why? Well, first and foremost, it's an attempt to show you a really simple solution to the breakage of a mechanical fastener like this using an internal, sort of like a splint. You know, think of this as putting a cast on this little part. Only instead of the cast going on the outside, the cast is going on the inside. Second, because I can. Why wouldn't I fix it? It's within my powers. When I'm done, it'll work just fine. So why not do it? Third, school teacher, rural school, single income family. If I don't, we don't have a dishwasher. But mostly it's the first two. Epoxy that end because I know it's going to want to soak up water, so I want this well and truly gooped. Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but my YouTube income, which was, you know, never family supporting, but it was nice. It was a nice little blessing there. Dropped by half. You know, easy come, easy go. I don't get to make those decisions, and I should enjoy what we had for as long as we had it, but it's disconcerting. Army truck with a motor ripped apart. Summer business hinges on fixing that bad boy. Not complaining, mind you. My life is full of wonderful people, yourselves included. There are so many more who have much harder worlds than I live in. It's just being ridiculous. Notice how I have it recessed inside there just a bit. Gonna go ahead and put it in this clamp. You know, you're not supporting the roof of the Taj Mahal or anything like that. I just want to hold it together. If I left it out here, I'd be looking at like an hour's dry time, or I guess it'd be hardening time. So I'm going to go ahead and take it inside. Oop, that should be straight, not crooked. I'm going to go ahead and take it inside, and she'll be good to go. Believe it or not, this is the exact same way my shower's held together. Exact same way. When the little plunk stopper thing stopped working, and so it was dumping half the water into the tub and half the water going up the shower, I put that piece of oak, I even remember it, pulled the little valve apart, replaced it with a piece of oak the right size. No joke, we're going on 6 years. I was just happy to get a little bit. I don't know if the rest of the dishwasher's got 6 years in it, but I bet you this piece does. Here's the point of activity. This is the spray bar. Right, goes on right there with this cracked plastic bushing. Now it appears that the failure was indeed this thing flipping back and forth, and it had a plugged spinner jet, so it means I think that it was going around tipped like that with just one side blasting. So it just was working and working and working. That, by the way, comes from washing jam, jelly, pickle jars with the paper labels still on them. Don't do that, boys and girls. So that goes on right there. Now here is my plug, and I've got a small modification from what you saw in the video. I added a screw in the center, just a double backup, mechanically hold the whole thing together, and that happens to be a sheet metal roofing screw, so rubber washer. Not that it should matter, epoxy coated. Now when I first put it together with its plastic bushing, I noticed this, and this is the way it was working. And there probably was some sort of washer assembly, but my guess is because this thing has been blasting around at an angle, that got blown off or worn off or something. So I cut me these. This is a washer made out of PVC foam core board, an old political sign. And this is a washer cut out of, I think, is some really soft ABS plastic. It was actually a printer shroud that Shay and I took apart on Blue Smoke Productions. I had a piece of that in the trash can, so I just pulled it out and I cut a washer out. Together, they're slightly different thicknesses. They're the right height, so that when I screw this down, this thing can't lift anymore. Well, not really. So, I can't lift anymore, so it has to go like around and around in a flat plane. Added benefit, hadn't thought about because I've tested this since then. When it used to lift up, it would blow all sorts of water down and out, losing a tremendous amount of the pump's pressure. And I can tell you now, she cleans much better. And I suspect that's because, you know, the pump puts water out, it comes through this bar, it goes up that back channel, and comes out the upper spray bar. And I think that because this was lifting up, half of the water was just being jetted back down, and the pump was recirculating it, doing nothing. So it cleans a lot better now. Works great. At least has for a while. Thanks for watching.